This is Wealthy Hours with Jason McGee and Cordero Rowland, the all-new exclusive podcast where finance meets hustle, trading, money moves, and more.
Man, welcome to the Wealthy Hour podcast.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
y'all that don't know, I'm Cordero, the chosen one, and then got my brother here, Jason McGee.
What up?
And man, we just gonna rock and roll and catch our vibe as we normally do. And man, we got some topics today, man. One that caught my attention that I started laughing because, bro, you know how it is when you working with people. The first thing they ask is, "It too good to be true?"
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a great topic too, man, because, early on when I was getting mentored and getting mentorship, and that's how a lot of people think. They say, man, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. And then I started looking at that in hindsight when I really started investing. So in essence, wouldn't compound interest be too good to be true?
Right.
You know what I mean? People have 401ks, and those 401ks compound, but really, in essence, you're not doing nothing but truly making an investment. And then based on different parameters and things in the market, there's compound interest that takes place that makes you more money. In essence, that's too good to be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really wanted to change the narrative on that, and really especially in wealthy hours, because the eighth wonder of the world is the law of compounding. And I'm just
Thanks.
giving y'all free game right now. People say, man, how do you get rich? What are your success secrets, man? No matter what you do in your life, no matter what you do in your business, it has to be compounding. I give the example all the time about like Beyonce, Drake, some of these artists that are hit it big. Beyonce's not a solo artist, right? What did she do to go to that next level? She compounded her interest. She compounded her team. She compounded her songwriters.
Yep.
She compounded her dance choreographers. And that's why she's the biggest in the world. Same thing with Drake. Regardless of what he's got going on right now, he still drops a song and he can't be untouched. He's still doing numbers. Why? Because he's compounded his team. He's compounded his creative process. So it's the same thing for anybody that's looking to really get out of the rat race, or anybody that's looking to go to the next level as far as their finances. You always have to be thinking compounding. Even if you have a 9 to 5, right? Okay, what money can I set aside? And I always tell people it takes money to make money, but it doesn't take a lot of money to make a lot of money.
Yep.
Right? So you take your money, man, 100, 200, 300. It doesn't matter what it is. You should automatically be thinking compounding this capital that I have, and through time, what once was small will become big.
That's facts. I'm like that too with Jay-Z when I look at compounding, because it ain't what was. I always say what's too good to be true is there a lie that you tell yourself. That's too good to be true.
Right.
Because if you don't give yourself an opportunity to say, okay, let me study this and see what it is, because the wrong people will say that.
Right.
Number one, that sounds too good to be true. I'm like, how you know? I always turn a question with a question, like, how you know? And if you get the breakdown, you be like, you know what? Dang, that is live. Yeah, especially when you, like, I remember we did the boot camp in person at the Green Jacket, and I was sitting back watching the look on people's face. They was like, man, don't nobody teach this stuff. I said, now, and I asked Carl, I said, bro, do that seem too good to be true? He was like, no. He said, now, if somebody say that in their head and they don't see this, that's like a cop-out, number one. But then when you see it, you like, damn, this here is different.
Right.
Like, bro, that's the power of compound interest.
Right.
And what's too good to be true is you not knowing that.
Yeah.
That's what's too good to be true, because it ain't too good to be true. The correct word is it's true.
It's true. It's true,
true.
and it's good.
Yeah, and it's
true,
good.
It's true and it's good. And just going back to that compound concept, man, like, what do we compound in our minds as a people? I don't want to limit it just to a race or a demographic or things like that, but we are conditioned, and people compound things in our mind as well to say, what? Man, watch out for scams. Watch out for people trying to do this and do that. While there are scams and while there are things out there like that, you got to think about it. Other races, other demographics, they're taught, and their mind is compounded, and their teachings are compounded to see opportunity.
Facts.
We're compounded, and we're conditioned to think, what? Man, this is too good to be true. Man, Is it gonna work? Am I gonna lose my money? When am I gonna get my money? You know, I got $500. Can you turn it into $1 million in 2 weeks? And they don't really see the long term game. You know, and I always tell people, even though that we're in systems and we're in certain practices where we can make a significant amount of money in a short amount of time, you still have to be thinking long range, because even though when you make your first 100,000 or you make your first 1 million, you're still going to be thinking compounding even after that, right? Because when I made my first 100 grand, like I said, I made, and that's through the grace of God. I always keep God in the center of everything I do. I always tell my story how I made 100 grand in 3 months, right? And I used to tell people all the time, man, once I make 100 grand, where I'm from, we hood rich.
Right, for real.
It don't matter. I can get the nice car, I can get the nice place, and that's it. But once I made that 100 grand, it was like, man, you know, I still got I got my daughter. She a newborn at the time. You know, I want to do this for my mom. I want to do this for my parents. I want to do this for my loved ones. And that 100,000 goes to 50,000, or it goes to 40,000 or 30,000, whatever the case. So you automatically just have to start thinking, okay, what's next? Because there's always another level. So I just say that to people that are looking to get into investing or don't know where to start or whatever the case may be. That's just a number one tip, man. Always just be thinking compounding in what it is you do. You know, just the person that wants to start working out in the gym, you know, and they're out of shape, but they don't want to go to the gym. Why? Because that condition or that thinking is, man, I'm not going to lose the weight in the amount of time I want to lose it. I'm not going to look a certain way in the amount of time we do it. Well, just compound your workout. Start with 1 push-up. Next day, start with 2. The next day, start with 4. And then you look up, you're doing 100. You can do 100 push-ups in 1 set, and you look great.
That's what I love about that too, because information is very powerful. What's raw and uncut is the truth. When you understand the truth, like I compounded relationships.
Yeah,
I look at who was that Chameleon there? Like he one of my favorite artists because I seen him evolve. He came from knowing nothing. His lyrics was through the roof. He didn't even sound like he was from Texas, number one.
Right.
But then I seen him go into the tech space. Then he learned how to invest. Then even Nas, I watched Nas go and invest in these companies. Now they got $100 million return. That's a prime example of getting around other people who don't know what you know. And you like, look, I can put 500,000 here. And who would have thought 500,000 turns into $10 million? But if you don't understand the value of money, that's why you see people that come from the hood like we have. We came from the hood. We hood rich right now. Right. So, you know, people like, man, oh, big money. I'm like, bro, that's a mindset. That's a way of life.
Yeah.
You thinking you look at somebody and they look like they have money. That ain't the right way all the time. Most of the time is these conversations like this where somebody giving you the blueprint.
Right.
Like, bro, it don't take a lot of money to get right here. But you can't put this money in here and think it's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Even if you do get that kind of money that quick, you ain't got discipline. You're going to lose it anyway. I've seen a lot of people crash, and I start studying like, man, this dude had $20 million. Man, had $100 million. How did you lose all that money? But people don't know this, too. I heard somebody say this on the other podcast. Most of them guys are living check to check.
Yeah.
You got 18 cars. You got to pay all that insurance and your mortgage payments and all. I'm like, oh, my God.
I got to let you keep going. But right now, 2025, 77% of millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, man.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. But when you go break down, like a good finance person I watch, Pocket Watching, he said, yeah, man, you don't realize, okay, you got this money coming in. Look at what you got going out. Your ROI ain't matching up because you got money, but you just getting more stuff, more stuff. Oh, I need this. And before you know it, the people that see that don't want to downsize, don't want to get rid of nothing. Now you bankrupt and they come in and get everything.
Right.
And that's what people don't teach either. Like, look, when you get this money, this is what's about to happen. Either you can set yourself up and live below your means and understand, okay, if I don't structure myself enough, I'm going to hit the wall somewhere down the road. You see, and it made no sense to me until maybe a few years back. And I was like, how did they lose all that money? Then when you start getting bills and I'm looking, I'm like, I'm complaining over a $200 bill. Imagine these jokers got
Right.
a $18,000 light bill,
Yeah.
$40,000 water bill. I'm like, $40,000. Your maintenance on a home by itself costing you an extra $50,000 a month. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Bananas.
But then when you start seeing like now, it's a structure of finance. Why did this person not listen to the people around him? Like I watched Shaq. Shaq said, man, I ran through that $1 million so fast until my finance person told me, hey, you can't keep doing that, man.
Right.
And he sat down and taught himself, okay, now let me make sure I'm structured properly so I don't go broke.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a jacked up situation to be in.
And don't you think it's weird that people think budgets are not cool?
Man.
You know what I mean? I think that's weird. Like, oh man, you ain't balling, you ain't getting to the bag, you ain't doing this and doing that.
Gonna keep it too.
But most of your millionaires, most of your billionaires, in essence, they have themselves on a budget, and that's another hack that people don't tell you. If you, like you said, people just going broke. I mean, if you make $1 million, don't spend $1 million. If you make $1 million, live off $250,000 a year and budget around that. That's more than enough. And I'm telling everybody on the here, you're gonna hit a certain threshold in your money if you get started, where it's only so much stuff you can buy. There's only so many trips you can take. We just got back from where did we go? Bahamas, right? I'm here to tell people it's a good feeling, but all of the beaches pretty much look the same. So it's only so much traveling and so many things you're gonna do. Of course, you want to experience that, but when you make $1 million, live off $250,000. When you make $2 million, you can accrete it to $300,000. You know, whatever the case may be. But you could drive the car you want. You can live in the house you want. You could do all of those things within your means, right? Like DL, shout out to my boy DL. What he say? If you stay small enough, long enough, right, you'll be big enough and strong enough.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, it's. I mean, I remember this DL was making. You know, not to tell that brother's business, but I mean, he was making millions of dollars, and he was just driving a very modest car. You know, it got to a certain point, but it was like, all right, bro, like you got to do something else. You know what I mean? But he stayed so modest for so long, and he's reaping the benefits of that. Yeah, and that's. And, I mean, even the people that have jobs, you know, and you make good money at your job,
I know
that
some
doesn't
people now well off.
Yeah, don't. That doesn't signify that you go look like the rich and go exploit like the rich. Now it's time to really wealth build with your job. And that's another thing that we were talking about, that like in the MLM space, when they bash people having jobs, which is nothing wrong with having a job. You can literally build wealth with the job that you have, right? But you just have to realign, restructure, and then like you said, most people say live within your means. No, you got to live below them. And that's the key to sustaining long-term wealth.
Especially when you paying stuff off, because that's more power than anything. Because if you got a house paid for, cars paid for, you can finance a few things, but man, you got the deed. Why would you go, okay, I'm going to sell this and go get something else, and it's going to be hiccups along the way. Yeah. So if you have a hiccup, now you can look, well, my overhead is pretty much zero to nothing. Yeah. Now I'm sustainable. I can sit back for 2 years and ain't got to worry about scrambling. But the ones that don't do it, man, it suck when I see this and then they come to us last minute like, man, it's all I got. I'm going to throw it in. I'm like, man, you don't play with the house money. That's the worst time to invest if that's all you have, because right now you ain't got nothing accumulating coming in. Like, what are you going to do in that gap? Yeah. Because what's important about money, I always say, it's like growing trees. That apple seed tree may not mean nothing right now, but, man, when you wait about 5 or 6 years, man, that thing producing some of the biggest apples you done seen in your life. Yeah. Money works the same way. You got to watch it grow. You can't expect that to happen overnight. But when it does, what are you going to do with the money? Yeah. I learned what I'm grateful for now is knowing how to balance a budget right now with a little. Then when it start getting bigger, I still stay the same. Yeah, man, we need to go somewhere. I'm like, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
It take a season, a whole bunch of no's. Yeah. Can we do this? No. I need to do this. No. I learned how to play broke. Yeah. Just because you got it don't mean spend it. Yeah. Okay, build it up enough and invest it. Now when you're starting investing, you pull from that. Yeah. Even then, if you ain't structured and you just pulled $100,000 out of an investment account, man, you finna go stupid.
Finna go crazy.
I done seen them go stupid. I'm like, bro, you just ran through $60,000.
I'm a living testimony of that. Worst mistake I made in my life.
For real?
Bro, pulling $100,000 out of an investment account. Oh, I'm going to Manhattan.
Man.
Oh, man.
He said, I'm going to
Oh,
Manhattan.
my mentor has a Rolex.
Right.
Oh, man. Bro, you see that Bentley? That's my dream car. Bought it cash. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I buy that car cash? I wish I was in more relationship with you back then. You know what I mean? Bro, pay on that thing for 3 or 4 months, build up your credit and pay. No, man, bro, I'm going to get a cash. I'm balling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And then when you look back, and then when there's seasons and things that happen, like an uncle of mine, he, called me, hey, I need X amount of dollars for emergency surgery. If I don't have this emergency surgery, I'm going to lose my vision. I'm going to lose my eyesight. I'm not going to be able to work.
Man.
So what do you do in a situation like that?
Mm-hmm.
I immediately start thinking like, man, did I have to spend, 4 or 5 figures on a pendant? You know what I mean? Because now I'm wiring him money to save his eyesight and his vision.
Right.
I thank God that I had the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But by the same time, when you run into situations like that, you immediately start thinking about all of the dumb, frivolous things that you did with money. And it's just that experience. It wasn't even the fact that I had it to do it. And I really hope people start grasping that concept. Like, money is an experience. Money is a feeling.
Oh, man.
People want a lot of money, but they want a lot of money just to have that freedom, to have those things and have those experiences that they never had before. So that's another secret to it. While we're talking about just compounding everything, compound your prayer life, compound your meditation, compound your affirmations and everything that it is you want, because that's when those things will start coming. Because I promise you, even though having money that's really what it is. Having money is just a good feeling. It awards you freedom. You can eat in nice restaurants. You can take nice trips. You can take nice flights. You can buy nice clothes. You could buy nice shoes. But why are you doing that? You're doing it because it makes you feel good and it makes others feel good as well. So once you understand that it's a feeling and you tap into that feeling way before the money comes, way before everything comes.
You're already wealthy.
There you go. That's when the spiritual laws kick in, the law of vibration, the law of resonance. I got so many other laws that tie into money, but that's when everything will start aligning for you.
And it will gravitate, because I remember the first power move I made, I said, I'm going to start moving like I already have it.
There you go.
Even though I didn't have it at the time, I set myself up to look a certain way, carry myself like that, and it made me become fearless, even though I didn't have the finance. And as it started to come and accumulate, I said, bet. Then I learned, okay, now let me learn how to move with a financial strategy.
Yeah.
And what made me sharp like that was I had a friend of mine, he was in I think it was Prime America, but the way he carried himself, bro, he was always calm, chill, and he didn't share a whole lot. Man, dude had land, built a house on there, built his son a house next door, but his demeanor, me watching him, changed me. That's why I tell people also, man, money is an experience.
Yes.
I'll say it's a heartbeat too, man, because when you work it right, it's a peace, man, that comes upon you where you be like, man, I'm out here on a plane, I can go get something I want. But I stack that up to where when I go on vacation, I can actually be on vacation.
Yeah.
Because you'll see some people do that, but you playing with your house money, you got all these situations going because you didn't set yourself up right.
Yeah.
You went about it the wrong way because, well, I'm finna go buy this and buy this. Man, when I go on vacation, bro, when I seen that, we went to Hawaii my first time on a plane, and this was during COVID. When I got on that beach, man, I sat out there for hours. I was like, when I come back to Texas, I'm going to move. How I moved there is how I move to this day. Yeah. I said I would never disqualify myself or demote myself for the money I'm supposed to have, but let me make sure I move in structure so I can always come back.
Yeah.
Because you can disqualify yourself. You can demote yourself if you manage your money wrong. Even if people you got, like I met this guy, man, he worked a regular job, worked in the stock market. All his stuff was paid for. He had dually trucks. He said, man, listen, if I want something, if I can't buy it at least once or twice, I won't touch it.
Yep.
He said, so I will let my investments buy the stuff I wanted. The stuff I needed, a roof over my head, my family taken care of, this covered that. This took care of everything else, lavish, whatever I wanted. I said, okay, this trip gonna cost me $13,000. Oh, bet I can make that in 3 months. Now I ain't gotta finance nothing. Boom, it's paid for. Then top of January, my other buddy showed me this. Shout out to Rod Warren. He said, bro, I pay my bills off annually. Take my money out the market. When January hit, he said, I'll see y'all in 2026. I was like,
That's hard.
He said, only thing that you can't pay a year in advance is utilities.
Utility bills.
He said, everything else, bro, I paid off annually. I was like, what? So this is why I tell people, you become wealthy, the more people you're around, you understand the compound of having these wealthy conversations. Like these conversations, bro, changed my whole outlook of life. He was like, man, I don't live outside of my means. I find, and then I learned this about money too. It gets you in rooms and you understand the language, man, how massive it is. It's people, bro, that on a whole nother level. And I'm like, how you do that?
Yeah.
But I made myself qualify once I understood in my mindset, like, bro, this ain't nothing but a conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
But then that conversation piece will turn into a manifestation of power that it hit your mental, physical, and financial. And then once you get it, it's like, who are the people that got the money, man, that's really out here moving? It's the ones that's structured and disciplined.
You just said something key right there. Discipline.
Discipline, bro.
That's what it is. It's discipline, man. I preach that to my team, to my students every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly tell them discipline, discipline, discipline. And I know the ones that are not being disciplined because they'll say, "Hey, can you walk me through that again? And can you talk about this again and this and that, this again?" And then the first thing I ask them is, "Did you write it down?"
Mm-hmm.
What you think the answer is?
Nah.
Rich people take notes. Broke people forget what they should have wrote.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I quoted a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I learned that coming from, watching the Davids and watching the Christopher Terrys and watching some of the others, going to the Bob Proctor conferences. Man, they gonna say something so cold and so profound, but they not gonna stop what they're doing to repeat it. So I always had my pen in my hand, and I always had, because it taught me that discipline to say, hey, I can go back and reference this, whatever I needed if I'm feeling, structured. God is literally giving me the answers right now, but he giving me the answers to the test, but I'm not taking notes.
That's the worst thing ever.
But this question gonna come back up in life again.
It is.
You know what I mean? And then when and that's part of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Us as a people, because God already gives us the answers. Everything that we want is already here. Everything that we want is already present. The problem is when the teacher comes to give us the answers, we're not paying attention and taking notes.
Man, that's good.
We on social media.
Yeah.
We on social media. We listening to wifey downstairs fussing. We listening to hubby over there complaining about what's not and what should be. And instead of just tuning in and focusing and being disciplined to the answers that because God's already given us the answers to the test. And I really had to realize that, and that was profound and what changed my life. Because when I hear someone speak, even when I hear you speak, I know you probably noticed it.
Yeah.
When I hear you speak, especially when you start talking about credit and your and networking, like your gifts, you got many gifts,
right?
But those are like your gifts,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I hear you speak, I know you notice me go on my phone. I go in my notes app.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes of stuff you said.
Right.
When I hear the people, the Davids, the Bob Proctors, when I hear some of those people like that speak, I'm taking notes because everything that you want will show up in signs and wonders. Man, right? Like that's an example of where I will, where I'm going. I'm not gonna say where I would like to be, where I'm going. Like I'm good, but that's a different level of good.
Yeah.
Right?
A whole nother level.
Yeah, but it's evidence. You can touch it. It's physical. You can contact it. It's right there. So when you hear them speak, most people are just like that. You know what I mean? And they're hearing him, but they're not listening.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I tell people about with God. Like y'all hear God. We hear God, but you don't listen to him.
Yeah.
And then when God starts speaking, you're not even taking notes to retain what he's speaking, because he's speaking through people. He's speaking through Cadero. He's speaking through a Dr. Spiller.
Yeah.
He's speaking through a Jared Wilkins. He's speaking through these people, but you're just doing this, or you're just doing this. And you literally just miss something that was meant for you because you wasn't disciplined enough.
For real.
Right. And so that's why we recycle. That's why sometimes it takes us longer to be successful. That's why sometimes it takes us longer for us to get to the finances and the experiences that you want, because God is literally giving you the answers to the test every day, but you're not taking notes.
I'm like, only a fool will deny notes.
Yeah.
And then everybody learns different. I said, yeah, but you rather have them notes set to the side? Because like me, I had to do a bunch of rewiring. You come from the hood. We come from nothing anyway.
Yeah.
So by the time I hit the clothes phase, the shoes phase, then all of a sudden, I remember I bought me a pair of Jordan. I spent like almost $200. I was like, man, this ain't about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll never do that again. If I don't have a hustle to get that, I won't do it. But I learned that from Rich Dad Poor Dad when he said, man, I let my side endeavors pay for that stuff.
Absolutely.
And I remember I did this, that's why I learned all these different trades. I had made like $3,000 on a little trade I did. And I said, you know what? I'm finna go turn up. I went to the mall and bought what I bought, and it felt good because I didn't touch my house money.
Yeah.
So then I started learning them divine strategies. I'm like, even listening to you, I take notes, and I be sitting back laughing because I'm we got tech now too. I'll record it, and I be sitting back. I like, man, we talk the same language, but people don't move into their unison. Like who you are, man. Money show you who you are too.
Oh,
well, one thing I learned about
absolutely.
money, man, it showed me that who I was, who I am. It showed me too where I can grow. I was like, man, I need to stop this and go right here because I say the B word, you get upset, but I ain't cussing. I'm saying budget. Because I went broke. I went broke. I was like, dang, man, how I do that?
Yeah.
And when I backtracked, I was like, dang, I should have been paying attention right here. So when the money came back around, I said, okay, bet. Now going forward, I know what not to do. What y'all finna go do? Man, we finna go hang out. Now I'm straight. But then God, that's why I tell people too, you got to tap into your favor.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for nothing most of the time. How? And I used to hear people say this, bro. I was like, man, that can't be real. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's
because
real.
when you're moving and you helping people how you supposed to be helping, like you just said earlier, God got everything set up for us.
Yeah.
We supposed to have. You got the have-nots. The reason they have not, they put themselves in that position. Because I used to wonder, like, bro, how you do this? You smart. It's so many intelligent people around us, bro. It's unreal. But it's bad habits. Them bad habits are crazy. They're easy to grab hold of, and it seems like it's damn near impossible to let it go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if y'all get around people like us and listen, it changes if you change with it.
Yeah.
But if you hear it and like you said, and you just going with the flow, you done miss 90% of your blessings right there.
And the answer was right there.
I sat back for years, bro, watching you, Dr. Spiller, other people. I was just sitting back on the backside looking. And who would have thought, you on the outside looking in, and you go on the inside looking out?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? But I tell people, if you don't grow and sit back and take notes, you'll see who telling the truth. Just sit back and watch. I watch you, bro, literally go from where you were, then you kept climbing and climbing. Then I seen you go on Instagram, and I look on your profile. I like, yeah, he there now. Yeah, but then I also watch your spirit. Your spirit didn't change. Same thing with me. Watching y'all, I learned who I was too, because I'm like, I'm the same dude. The field got wider, but I'm the same person. Yeah. But we got sharper. You supposed to get sharper. If iron don't sharpen iron, you in the wrong group.
Yeah.
Are you willing to also too, I tell people, if you don't take them notes and somebody seeing you a recorder and I tell you, hey, what did I say in the last 15 minutes?
Come on now.
If you sitting up there blank, that's a problem.
Yeah. Austin Gossi taught me that too, because bro, did you read that book? Yeah, I read it. What did Robert Kiyosaki say about the cash flow quadrant on page 69? You didn't read the book. That's what he used to hit me with. Yeah. And it was like, he was like, man, when you read it, he was like, read it to comprehend. Don't just read it to just get through the pages. And then you just said something else that's profound too. While we're talking about like, God giving us the answers to the test. And like you said, you'll see who's real and different things like that. People get too caught up and focused on that, right? I mean, you just used a perfect example. Dr. Spiller. Shout out to Doc. You know what I'm saying? Because I would never be that person that would say, he didn't put me in a game and expose me to a lot. That David did, but Dr. Spiller was the exception of that. So just shout out to Doc. Sure. I'm always give my flowers where they're due. But hate him or love him, right? Yeah. Everybody was too busy looking at that man's character versus looking at they was looking at the mess and not the message.
Yeah.
They weren't looking at that man's gifts. Like I never, good, bad, or different, hate him or love him. I don't care, what people have to say about certain people, in the industry. I'm listening to the message that God put inside those men and those women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
regardless of how you feel about them. Like, you're letting your ego get in the way of your money.
Yeah.
You letting your feelings or your emotions get in the way of your blessings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, they did this. Yeah, they did that. Okay, what did God put in this man's heart and on this man's mind today, and what he's going to say that's going to bless me? Because there's a reason I'm in this room. There's a reason I'm at this conference.
Yep.
There's a reason I'm at this convention. So let's block all of that out. And let's just see what God's gonna talk to me about today. Let me take these notes and see if this message is for me. If this message is not for me, cool. But if it is, it's gonna resonate. The law of resonance is gonna kick in. And it's gonna give me what I need to go to the next level. But a lot of people, because we're so emotional, we're so caught up in the feeling, and we're so caught up on what should be versus where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
And you have to block that out. You have to get rid of that. You know, there's tons of people on social media, and I saw like a back and forth with like Jay Morrison and Tony the Closer.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I invested in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Right.
Man.
Some people say it's a scam. Some people say it's not. You know. Tony the Closer exposed some stuff. Jay exposed some stuff. They had their back and forth. But the main thing is, while everybody's getting caught up in their beef, I don't care about none of that. Okay, that man knows something about real estate that I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a gift inside of inside of Tony.
And
the
you
Closer.
seen a lot of people under his tutelage. Add him 500 of them was up under him
That's what
too.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you right about that because I watched it. He said, "Man, go back on that clip. You think I'm lying?" He said, "I gave them information on the street for free."
Come on.
And then when they got them videos, they said, "Yeah, if you gonna be real, state that too."
Yeah.
Man, you nailing. When I say you on the nail, bro, because people will look at the mess and you forget that message.
Why you think reality TV so popular?
Yeah, they want mess. Controversy sells.
People want controversy. People want mess. Like I don't I don't go to people looking for perfection, knowing I'm an imperfect person myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go looking at the
toe out the
gift.
frame.
Come on,
I say it in a minute.
Come on,
yeah.
man. I come looking for gifts. I come looking for talents. I come looking for abilities. This man, this woman has something that I don't have, and I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
God put me in this room
He
for
did.
a reason. Let's try to find out what that is instead of getting caught up in the mess. Instead of hearing the whispers in the stands. We not even on stage. We in the stands, and people saying, "Well, such and such did this, and that." I don't care about none of that.
Because whatever door y'all in don't got nothing to do with me.
Come on, man. We here to get to the chicken. So the
biggest blessing happened, bro, when they be like, "Why you with them?" I'm like, I ain't got no problem. But if I would have came in there on that time y'all was on, I would have messed up my whole blessing because you in here saying something. Yeah. It's a guy, bro. He acquired assassin in Dallas, and one of them was like, "Well, some people saying something bad about you." I said they can say what they want to.
Yeah.
This individual has treated me like a king, has treated me like a brother, treated me like I'm his son.
Yeah.
When I'm around the other people that y'all looking up to, and they gave me the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
So who you think I'm gonna go to?
Exactly.
He gave me a great message. I need something. Hey son, how you doing? You got your kids with you? Bring them. They taken care of.
Yeah.
But you'll miss that if you take somebody else's word instead of going to experience. I always compare it to a movie. Man, I don't like that movie, but I go in and had a great time. But if I would have just took your word for it, I would have missed that experience.
Missed that experience. Man, that's key. You would have missed that experience. And like I said, that doesn't mean we don't use discernment.
Yeah.
We use discernment, right? There's a such thing called access. You give people certain access to certain things. I'm not gonna allow you, whatever your gossip is or your rumor is or your character is, that all of that's fine. But at the end of the day, and not to go biblical, right? Man, was Jesus hanging around kings?
No. Jesus in the streets. Yeah. No such thing.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's what I said. He was hanging around people that had gifts inside of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That could change the trajectory of his overall goal and where he was trying to go. And I think people miss that. It's the same thing out here when you're trying to get wealthy, when you're trying to get rich, and you're trying to find answers, right? Like you're judging the person, you're judging the character. Look at the person's gifts, look at their track record, look at their results. Now, granted, a lot of people lying on the internet about their results.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of people lying about, like we said, they living paycheck to paycheck. But if there's a message that resonates with you, if there's something that you say, man, there's something there, you need to explore that, because that's something for you that's going to get you to the next level and where you're trying to go.
That's why I love building up relationships, because when you got a organization and I'm looking at somebody, I can make a phone call and be like, hey man, you know about this? Like, boy, that ain't real. That's a lie. I'm like, man, I knew I wasn't tripping. Or like, no, he know his stuff. He's like, hey, look, I may not agree with him here, but that brother or that sister, oh yeah, they get into the money. Cause I be watching people, bro, selling these courses that's outdated. They ain't using these courses no more. This stuff is outdated. And you got another person. I remember, I don't know his name, but he flew these influencers out. Some that was known and some that was just barely getting in. Bro, he paid for their flight, flew them to a HBCU, just schooled them and said, look, man, there's nothing y'all can't obtain, and gave them the experience. Man, and one of them was my good friend. He's a Christian rapper, Adrian Brunner, and he was like, bro, he said, man, when he went live, he said, bro, this is crazy. He said, and here these people are trying to sell this $18,000 course, and this man making the same kind of money, and he just brought us here, no strings attached, and exposed them. And me, that's how I got in. Nobody sold me no course.
Right.
I came in breaking bread, and they gave me that experience. And I was like, once I got exposed to it, I stayed connected. And a lot of it came back to me. But had I not had that exposure, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And I tell people, man, you don't know who's the next person that's going to come up. And imagine they get up under your tutelage and you get them that information and see them, boom, hit that wealth status.
Yeah.
Like, look at Mr. Beast and how them guys turned out. I mean, this dude going to Africa making 100 whales, and he got his own game show through Amazon Prime.
Come on.
But if you don't, like, and those are the rooms I'm like, bro, let's work out and get around these guys.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with the media and stuff, see, when you move in truth and people see that, like, people watch me evolve. It's like, bro, I stay connected to you, man, and you still the same guy, but, bro, you on a whole nother level. It's because the mindset had to change. Like, I was like, bro, I can't go in the room with these people. It's not going to make sense. You had to remove, and I tell people, don't be afraid to remove the family members out the way, because it's called ingrow and outgrow for a reason. You going to outgrow a lot of them because they don't see the vision.
It's going to be a season.
God is so God, he will replace them and put you in the room with the people like, yeah, come on. Y'all fly out here. I'm like, what? Bro, and it's a love thing too, because when you grow with people like that, bro, it's one of the most powerful things on planet Earth. Yeah. Knowing you can have a conversation today and change your entire life tomorrow.
Yeah. Man, lives changing with just a conversation.
Yeah.
Lives changing with just a connection.
Yeah.
Lives changing with just a handshake. Because mine did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just me getting on a phone call, you know, again, just, you know, one phone call with Dr. Spiller and Miranda Robeson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, me not knowing what the Forex market was, me not knowing what trading was, you know, and I was supposed to meet my dad at Thanksgiving. You know, he told you the story. I don't know what I had going on, but I went to go watch the first Creed. I was at the movie theater. I was supposed to be at a Thanksgiving dinner, right, talking about this Forex thing. And, man, one trip to Houston, one handshake, sitting in David Emenetier's living room, that opened up my eyes, but I had to experience that.
Yeah.
Right? I had to see myself, like, having these things. Like, I've never seen a Bentley and a Rolls Royce and a Maserati in person, you know? And, again, bro, sit in it. You know, start it up. You know,
talking about Spiller?
Nah, I'm talking about David.
Wow.
So Spiller had and like I said, not telling their business, Spiller had the Maserati at the time. So that was like my first time riding in a Maserati. But David, you know, he stayed, I don't want to tell where he stayed, but I'll just put it this way. In the neighborhood, there's Houston Texans.
Right.
Houston Rockets and lawyers and stuff like that. But that was like my first time seeing a house that big, you know, first time pulling up, and there's like, I don't want to say he was a housekeeper. I don't know what they call him. But
it was
housekeeper, a PA, a personal assistant, whatever.
Concierge.
Yeah. I remember like, man, what's going on here? You know, I got a townhome.
Right.
Like, how am I pulling up? But yeah, I mean, you know, Maserati, Bentley here, then you open the garage, Rolls Royces, you know what I mean? And just seeing all of that stuff, and him just being free. Oh yeah, bro, get in, hop in, start it. Touch the leather, feel the leather. This needs to be you in the next. And he spoke that life into me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I immediately knew that, you know, God working through him, okay, Jason, this is your sign. And like I said, right after I experienced that, it wasn't 90 days, bro. Dang. I made my first 100K. And that's how it works. And like you said, networking and getting into the rooms, believing in the compound. And like I said, people say if it's too good to be true, then it probably is, going back to our first statement. at that time, in that moment, bro, that was too good to be true for me.
Yeah.
Why am I here? Why am I experiencing this? A lot of people don't get to experience $500,000 cars and all of these things, and multi-million-dollar homes, and just this level of opulence. You know what I'm saying? In a statement. And like I said, right after that, bro, I made 6 figures.
Wow.
I was making when I went, I was making $57,000 a year. You know what I mean? By American standards, it's not bad, but still living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? But right after I experienced that, my income shot through the roof.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just have to compound your experiences. You have to compound your money. You have to compound your team.
Yeah,
you have to compound your networking. And also that, you have to compound your education. You have to compound your discipline. You have to the life, the secret, as we're talking about on Wealthy Hours, you have to start compounding.
I always say you don't have to be the sharpest tool in the shed, but it don't hurt you to be sharp.
Yeah.
It don't hurt to be sharp, man. You don't have to know everything. Like, I came in, I got stronger on my position because I know the importance of staying in my lane.
Yeah.
Because as you start growing, I would never said it sounds too good to be true. I was just stuck in, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, I couldn't believe this, because in your head you'll have something like, man, I know this exists, but how do I get access to it?
Yeah.
And then when I started networking, I understood. I said, oh, this is how I get in. Because the other way around, I thought ideally the people I was looking up to and looking at wouldn't let me in. They'll pull up in their little fancy car, give me a little conversation, and they will leave. And I said, that's not it. And I felt it so much in my spirit. I'm like, I ain't gonna get it from them. Bad as I want it from them, it ain't gonna come. And I had to go on this journey of just networking. That's how I learned my abilities, my gifts, because I kept going. And I tell people, man, sometimes you'll hit a brick wall. I promise you, it's something on the other side of that. You just got to keep moving. It was like, so that's what you did? Yeah, I had it in my mind. I was determined. I'm like, all it's going to take is for me to have these right conversations with the other people. Before you know it, it'll come full circle. Shout out to one of my bros, Jay Holland, OG Jay Holland. I met him through his cousin. Showed up at an event. We showed up an hour early. I had that conversation with that brother, led me into other rooms, met some other brothers that led me into this building we in right now, and end up meeting Millie. Shout out to my team with them.
Yeah, line experience.
Man,
Shout
the
out to
line
experience.
Bro, I'm telling you the power of how this came about.
Right.
But if you don't move in your purpose, you will never experience what you're supposed to experience.
Absolutely.
Our podcast is called the Line Experience Podcast that turned into Wealthy Hours Podcast. So I tell people, bro, you have to give yourself that opportunity to know that, hey, I can grow, I can win, I can get my compound interest. It's not too good to be true. It's actually good, and it's true, and it's actually great. Because once you understand your value of what's coming in, bro, you can go reach and show somebody else that. It's so many people, bro, that still don't know what we have right now, and I'm grateful because we getting a lot of feedback off of this. Like, bro, y'all doing some great stuff, man. I'm just happy to see somebody actually present it to where it makes sense. It makes sense, and it make dollars too.
Yeah.
And it pays.
Makes sense, makes dollars, and it pays. It's just, do you want what God has for you? That's real simple, you know. And I always tell people a lot of time, and like I said, I'm not gonna get deep into that, but I am gonna say this just so hopefully it blesses the ears. A lot of people believe in God, but they don't trust God. And the reason why they don't trust God, because the Bible says that God is in us, and you don't trust yourself.
Facts.
To trust yourself means that you trust God. To trust God means you trust yourself. A lot of people don't get that. And the reason why you don't trust yourself is because the mistakes we've made in the past. I'm guilty of it too. You have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made with money, the mistakes you've made with opportunities, the mistakes you've made in relationships. You have to forgive yourself for that, because if you don't and you hold on to that hurt and you hold on it's gonna slow down your process, and Lord forbid you may never ever get the good that is preordained for you. So guys, forgive yourself. Number one, trust yourself, because to trust yourself is to trust God.
And then also know the importance of grace.
Absolutely.
If you know God, know grace. I say this all the time. I say, man, without God, I'm tore out the frame. I'm here because of His grace and His mercy. Yeah. And you got to put your armor on. A lot of times people don't wear their uniform or armor. It protects you from a lot of that stuff, man. And then the company you keep, whoever you're around, man. In order to know who you are truly, you got to get around some type of wisdom. Get around somebody, okay, I can grow with this person. If I'm around this person, they not going to condemn me to hell. Yeah. So when you get, that's how I grew in the kingdom. Like when I understood the power of actually being in the kingdom, I learned that from my grandmother, bro. My grandmother loved on me. When she took me to church, that community of people made sure we was good. We all worked together for the good. We all loved on each other. So if it was a mishap, we went through a house fire, we lost everything. The church was there to make sure we were straight. I think back then they had a Red Cross. They made sure we had hotels. My aunt was getting vouchers and stuff. So I saw the power of kingdom as a kid. Right. So as I became an adult, if I saw something that didn't look like what I saw before, like, nah, bro, you lying. That ain't how that work. Yeah. And when I started speaking up, I tell people, you got to go through a season to speak up for yourself. Are you willing to fight for your right? You got the right to be wealthy. Yeah. But if you keep acting like you're a poor man, that's why you got that poverty spirit on you. Poverty is a state of mind. Wealthy is a state of mind, and it's a way of living. I ain't going through that no more, bro. We out of that.
And people don't understand how close they are.
Yeah.
People don't understand how close good and evil, poverty and rich, how close they are with just a switch of a mind. So you just said something that was key and profound. Like you said, man, what I saw, what I was brought up, nah, bro, I don't believe that. Yeah. So I say this to everybody right now, and this was something I had to realize too. Like, why do I believe what I believe? You know what I mean? Why do you believe in God? Well, my parents believe in God. Yeah. My grandparents believed in God, right? So it goes right back to the same thing. Why don't you believe that you deserve that the best that life has to offer? You saw your parents work hard, work 40 plus hours a week, still wasn't enough, struggled with bills, struggled with living paycheck to paycheck. So guess what? Those beliefs are transferring into you. Because what? Your mama's going to tell you money didn't grow on trees. Your mama going to tell you we got McDonald's at home. Yeah. She going to tell you, you know what I mean? For real. She going to ask you, do you got McDonald's money? Yeah. Right? All of those things that I
ain't nobody got no money for that.
I heard these stuff, these things growing up. You know what I mean? And to keep it real on another level, like I said, when I saw my friends wearing Jordans and I saw my friends getting the new stuff that I wanted, right? And then you have a single mother, right? And she's like, okay, call your daddy. Yeah. See if your daddy gonna get them. No, it was all of those experiences. I know I'm not the only one that went through those. Struggling. Syrup sandwiches. Yes, sir. Popping the bologna bubble. Man, I don't even know why I was eating Spam. I still don't know what that is. You know what I mean?
Mixed up stuff.
All of those things can easily transpire into your adult life, right? And it's not your fault that you're messed up, but it's your fault if you stay messed up. Yeah. And it don't matter what age you are, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, you have to fix it. It's your duty, it's your job, it's your purpose to fix it. And you just have to change that mindset. The things that you believe are beliefs that were instilled in you. How you fix it, you have to instill new beliefs inside of you. You have to start believing that you're wealthy. You have to start believing that you deserve it. Most importantly, you have to forgive yourself and you have to start trusting yourself again. You have to rebuild your trust so you can rebuild your wealth.
And I'm going to add this gem to what you just said. A lot of times when we grew up in the hood like we did, we wasn't messed up. We were blessed up because I look at it like this. If I was raised up in a silver platter, I had everything handed to me as a kid, I wouldn't be the man I am right now, bro.
Ain't no telling.
Bro, no. I know for a fact.
Ain't no telling, bro.
I'm tougher in my gifts are where they are is because of how I was brought up. If I was brought up in something else, bro, I wouldn't have had it. It'd be like a spoiled brat. Yeah. You got everything handed to you. You got entitlement. No, it made us tough. If you look at the people who came from the less fortunate, look at 50 Cent. Look at Jay-Z. These are prime examples. Look at Nas. Bro, they was in the hood. You see, you coming down the Marcy Projects or wherever he was, and you go down the hallway and you smelling urine. The elevator tore up. You sitting right there on the block, and then all of a sudden, one opportunity changed your entire life and the family around you. if them guys was brought up on a silver spoon, life would be entirely different. So I tell people, won't you look at it this way? God could have put you anywhere in the world, but he put you right here to start. However, that's not how you going to finish. It's what you do with that piece of information, that piece of experience to get you right here. So when you come, another question is, are you going to appreciate it or depreciate it?
Come on, man.
See, me, when I got in these doors, bro, I had to ask myself that. I was like, God, I'm grateful. I came in grateful, not hateful, not shameful, not judging. And it made me very sharp. I started understanding how sharp I was the more I would listen to people. I'm like, dang. And I was like you, I was taking notes. I'm like, bro, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Or the humble people. See, this experience taught me too of what I'm around and what I'm not gonna be around. I get irritated real fast with negativity and people that keep doing the same thing. And I know it's greater in it, but I can't want you to win as bad as you want you to win. You don't want to win, I'm gonna leave you alone.
Yeah.
If you want to thrive, then come on, because the season of surviving is over with.
Yeah.
For us, thriving is where I'm at.
Yeah.
If you ain't thriving, I'm gonna leave you where you at. And I ain't upset. I tell them I'm not mad now, bro. I'm passionate. I'm so passionate and move at such a high level of energy, I have to calm myself down so I can talk like this.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So when people like, bro, how did you get like that? I got tired. Somewhere in your life, you got to say, I'm tired. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of bad habits. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of not growing. And when I elevated, I went from being tired to being excited. But you had to get tired of where you at. If you tired of it, you would change.
That's when it happens.
You would change.
A lot of people, man, and I'm gonna use a corny analogy right now, but you just named a lot of people like you didn't name Michael Jackson, but that's the one that came to my mind. Look at how them cats grew up.
Yeah.
Man, tons of kids in that house. You know what I'm saying? He making friends with rats and stuff like that. But guess what? Joe was sick and tired. Hey,
Trained them.
Made them the best. You know what I mean? They made sacrifices and became the biggest act in the world. Same thing with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson robbing people, going to jail, had an extensive jail record during his teenage years. Became one of the greatest boxers in the world. LeBron James didn't have a silver spoon. You know what I mean? Worked hard, talent, all of those things and all of that. But
Wayans brothers.
The Wayans brothers, bro, we can go all day.
It came in and cracked the code to Hollywood.
But I say that to say this, like, everything that you've been through, everything that everyone is going through right now, you need to thank God for that pain.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired is when you're truly going to change it. Right?
I swear.
And I'm an anime kid. You know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball Z.
Me too.
Every time they would level up, what did they level up through? Pain, defeat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Getting tore off the bone, getting tore off the frame by their adversaries, right? It wasn't until they went. That's when they went to the next level and transcended. Guys, that's a metaphor for life. You know what I mean? When you experience death, breakups, repossessions, bankruptcies, not having enough paycheck to paycheck, like stop getting comfortable with enduring that and just saying, okay, well, I guess that's just what life is. I guess that's just what it is. I guess that's just what God has for me. I guess that's just my season. No, that's a pure indication and a sign for you to say, okay, this is pain. I don't like it. It's time for me to level up. It's time for me to go to another level. It's time for me to transcend beyond all of this. And if you're aware of it, self-awareness, discipline, if you're aware of these things, that's when you'll have your breakthrough and you'll go to the next level.
That's the whole concept of this podcast, wealthy and healthy, because if you don't work on your health, it's a part of wealth, you'll spend a lot of your money trying to recover. That mindset is crazy, man. I'm like, do you have a landfill in your mind or do you have a vault? I graduated to a vault. Like, I understand now the power that I obtain because I'm around other powerful people. I tell people, if you got something in your mind and you know it's supposed to get out, get around the people that can help you get there.
Absolutely.
That's the whole goal. Bro, I got around people that helped me get there, and I was listening to them. That's where my concept come from. If I can't build with you, I can't chill with you. I'm like, I can't build with these people. They in the way. I got around other people. I'm like, man, he doing the same thing I'm doing. Oh, he got the same conversation I'm talking. Then I look at the heart of man, the heart of woman. Okay, bet. I can work with these cruel women. I can work with this brother here. I can work with a Jason. I can work with a Jay. I can work with a Chad. And bro, when I saw how natural it was in the form of like you said, when God give us that ability, it's angelic. Bro, the presence of that is so powerful. I was like, man, when I tell you I'm grateful because, bro, we came from the bottom. When you come from the bottom, you ain't got nowhere but to go to the top. Yeah. But here's the thing. If you ain't careful when you're on the top, you're going to hit the floor just as hard. And I hit the floor hard a couple times. So now that I'm back up, bro, I said, let me make sure I don't hit that again. Yeah. I'm not hitting that again, bro, because it's like we have to communicate with each other. Wealthy is having that form of communication and understanding. Like if we're around each other, bro, let's go here. No ideal is a dumb idea, but let's just structure it. Yeah. Because if you wild and loose with it, look at a Dame Dash. Man, that dude was a freaking genius. But his problem was his character.
Still is.
Character, bro, because look, you don't nobody want nothing to do with you, and you done launched all these great people off, but your attitude, the way your spirit was at the time, you ain't no boss, you da-da-da-da. But when you look at the core, I'm like, man, this dude is a freaking genius. Yeah. But I learned, too, you can also disrespect your blessings along the way. God allowed it to come through. You get grace only for so long. Yeah. If God decide to move that back, all you left with is war stories. It's a lot of people out here, bro. I heard there's grace, and I look at them. I'm like, you messed that up, bro. Yeah. Now, don't get it twisted. If you still got life in your body, if you know about the Bible, like we was talking about earlier, go back and read Job. He'll allow you to recover.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not going to go that route again because once I learned this, bro, we got to be careful about bridges. Yeah. You burn that bridge, bro, that bridge ain't coming back. You can watch from a distance, but there'll never be nothing in between there. But the God we serve, he'll allow you to go down another lane. But if you careful, just don't burn the bridges. Yeah, that way, if you ever fall back on your hard time, a lot of people don't want to say this. Look how many times Trump done fell and went broke or whatever it was. He had all them connections still. Made one phone call. He was back like he never left.
Yeah, but people say Trump was a good businessman. Why'd he go
bankrupt? He wouldn't.
Why'd he go bankrupt 10 times? He still, what did he do though? Network. Kept his connections. Yeah, he might go bankrupt. That don't mean he broke.
Yeah, crazy as Diddy was, like you said, outside of his illness, because he's definitely a sick person. Look at the gifts he had. Yeah, he was like, man, I'm gonna have y'all had these bottles. But he was so far advanced to everybody else, bro. Ciroc, they putting on the I Am King, the cologne. He was so far advanced. Like, man, this dude wouldn't sleep for a week, 2-3 weeks. He's still up. I'm in here knocked out cold. I wake up, he's still in there doing stuff. Same thing with 50 Cent. He said, bro, we over here getting drunk. He over here riding on the bike, drinking water. Then boom, he come out with vitamin water. He come out with the RBK shoe with Reebok, the G-Unit sneaker, $100 million. Vitamin. But so I started watching them guys. I'm like, man, these dudes are smart. Yeah. And then you, of course, lifestyle ate Diddy up. Yeah. Pray he come up out of it, but you know, you got to suffer the consequences. Yeah. But like you said earlier, you look at that gift of these people, man, it's like, bro, that just shows you the power of what we have, and when you get there, what's possible.
Yeah. And like I said, I ain't gonna speak on the Diddy situation.
Yeah. No Diddy.
He just bit off more than he could chew.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Was he a perfect person? Did he do a lot of crazy stuff? Absolutely. But when you start trying to go against that machine, like you said, now it's time to see if you're gonna level up. You know what I mean? But what you just said earlier is more is key, right? Yeah. I heard a saying a long time ago. It said your gifts will make room for you, but your character
keep you there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your character.
Because I always say this too, it's good to see public stuff. A guy got a well humbling anybody. Anybody can fall. Even Mike Tyson said it. Look at all the stuff he went through and fell and hit his face, but he's back up to 100+ million. His wife is a lawyer. So I tell people this, I don't wish nothing on nobody, because when people ask me what I think, even they was talking about Jakes and all this stuff a while back, I was on another podcast and they said, what you think about that? I said, here's my answer. He who has seen cast the first stone. Come on, man. I ain't nobody's judge, but everybody gonna go through a storm. Yeah. It's what you do when you come out of it. Yeah. That's it. And then can you build with these people? If you can, cool. If not, keep pushing. Because everybody got a pass. Yeah. The difference is ours ain't publicized.
Come on, man.
Even when I see people in the streets, I said, bro, I did the same thing. With grace of God, I didn't get caught. Got caught on certain stuff, and then the other stuff he gave me grace. I learned ahead of time. I got tired. I said, man, I ain't finna do that. Yeah. I know where y'all going.
Yeah. It's funny, man, and that's another thing I try to really steer and shy away from too. Yeah. Because I used to get caught up in that too, man. Especially when you're on your journey.
Oh yeah.
the best thing our teachers ever told us, man, keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yeah.
That's all I do now. I just keep my eyes on my own paper. I don't get caught into the who cheating on who,
bro, I'm out of there.
who messing with who doing this and who that. Because everybody, it's imperfect people judging imperfect.
You a grown person in life trying to figure it out. I heard somebody say, we're spiritual beings having a human experience,
there you go.
and we're human beings having a spiritual experience. And if you ever been in those lanes of marriage or whatever, it's life. Life gonna kick the crap out of you.
Yeah.
It's what you do with it. Because I used to hear, this is why I love wisdom. I used to hear my grandmother and them say, man, they figuring it out.
Yeah.
You stay out of that.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, I mind a business that paid me. I ain't in it. And when I'm in events, if it's weird or it's different in there, I know how to get up and leave.
Yeah, we know how to get up out of there.
Yeah, my
We've done it before.
Yeah, my homegirl was with me. She was like, bro, one thing I learned about you, you'll leave in a minute.
Oh.
If I'm in there looking around, I was like, I'm gonna stay here about an hour. I'm gone.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's like something I'm having a good time, I'll be the last one to leave. And I tell people that going forward, man, if anything, learn from that.
Yeah.
I used to hear a lot of questions. Hey, what you learn? What you get out of that? I was like, get out of what? I said, oh, mind your business. Like, no, but what did you get out of that outside of it? I said, oh, be careful of the company you keep, and don't. That's also what happened too. Is when you got a bunch of yes men around you. Somebody could have easily said, "Come on, man, you tripping, bro? Quit doing that, man."
Yeah, don't do that.
But you got a bunch of yes men on you. After a while, you'll see that happen, and then that shows you too. Again, like I said, you can go all the way up, and you can hit the ground just as hard. And you got to go through that season. Sometimes God will allow you to sit in that and learn. Hopefully, you learn from it, because you done seen many people go through it, come out, do it again. Look what happened to Mystical.
Yeah.
Man got a mind of wealth. They talk about Master People. Master P has helped a plethora of people. And what I learned from Master P, and man, look at my best student, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg took it to a whole nother level. You in here with Martha Stewart. I'm going in Walmart and seeing them in Walmart. So what they showed me was, man, everything in life is an experience. And if you want it be an experience, learn from that. Because you got good, you got the bad. What side you really want to be on? And what I love about what we got going, bro, that conversation became very wealthy, very fast, and the interest just keep compounding, and we ain't took a loss yet. And that's why I tell people, you may not, I don't believe in losses. I believe in lessons.
Yep.
I ain't never took a loss. I learned from that, because I had to go back and recap. I'm like, dang, how I do that? You knew you once. I'm in here checking myself. You knew you weren't supposed to do that, and you did it anyway. Are you gonna learn, or you gonna say, let me go back in here and roll the dice again. I'm finna just hit the block, spin the block one more time, and then you get jammed up, and it's like, oh man, here we go again. And I've seen people, bro, get caught in that, including some of my family. I pray for them, and they appreciate me because I don't judge them. I'm like, bro, they could have been me too.
Come on.
The difference is what we said earlier. I got tired.
Yeah.
And then when I saw these opportunities, I'm like, this is available to all of us for real.
It is.
There's no more gates to keep. If you got favor from God, bro, He'll open doors no man can shut. The question is, are you gonna stay in there?
Come on.
That's the real question. Are you gonna stay in there? Are you gonna stay seated? Are you gonna stay put? The people that stay seated and stay put, bro, we come out with the best because we was in there taking notes. Outside of taking the notes, we applied it. Man, Jason, you remember you said this? Hey, man, Cordero, you remember you said this? I did this and this and that. And this is the blessing on the end of this too, is the testimony, man. That's what give me more life than
the money.
Anything, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hearing people tell us, like, man, we came around, y'all. We learned so much. Here's the results. Success leave clues, man. With wealthy hours, I learned this, man, before we even got started, the clues. And I tell people, where your appetite? What are you hungry for? What are you digesting every day?
Yeah.
Are you digesting healthy stuff?
Yeah.
Or you keep looking around like, man, I can feel that off of people, man. When you eat bad or you keep doing stuff, that person come around, I can feel their aura, their presence. When you come in the room, they're like, man, who was that? I start noticing with me, when I changed my mind and my spirit started evolving, they would ask a couple of people around us, hey, man, who's that dude that just left here? Man, dude, cool.
Yeah.
But I got humble. I ain't never stick my chest out.
Yeah.
It just showed me like, bro, if we keep evolving, it's more to come. We just got to stick to the script.
Just got to stick to the script and know when God say move, you got to move, right? You got to understand, like I said, as we bring this to a close, that not moving and not doing nothing is the answer. You know,
I tried.
A lot of people say, "Well, I'm not gonna go to the left. I'm not gonna go to the right. I'm gonna stay in the middle." Well, that's the answer, right? because don't let a double-minded man think he's going to inherit the kingdom of the earth.
Because he unstable in all his ways.
Can't stay still.
What would be some more gems? Because I know you had some other topics. What would be some more gems you can drop for people who coming in entry level or the people that's in the middle and they just trying to get up there to the next level?
Absolutely. So I mean, just to recap everything and just to give you gems. You know what I'm saying? Number one, just immediately just start studying spiritual laws of success. I've really deep dove into that. You don't have to study every law. But number one, the law of entry. You know, you gotta pay the entry to get in. It's not gonna be free
At all.
right? And I'm not talking in a monetary form. I'm talking about work. You're gonna have to do some work, right? Next, law of association, right? You guys have heard it tons and tons of times. You hang around 4 broke people, you're gonna be the 5th one, right? If you hang around people that all they want to do is party and pop bottles, you know, they rich on Friday, broke on Monday. Guess what? You know what I mean? So get around some like-minded people. Like attracts like. That's the next law, the law of attraction. Like attracts like. You have to hang around people that has what it is and where you want to go. You know what I mean? If you can't hang around these people, there's social media, there's YouTube. Don't follow twerk videos and all of that stuff. Start following some of the people that have something to say, right? My next law would just be the law of resonance, right? What are you resonating with? If you're resonating with just warehouse work, working 40 hours a week, hope I can get some overtime, that's going to be your vibration. You can't thrive and really make a lot of money out of that vibration. You can maintain a steady paycheck, but if you're trying to get to the next level, you got to resonate with a different frequency, right? And then my next thing is just going to be, again, man, study. And then just compounding. You have to start compounding your life. You have to compound your spiritual life. You have to compound your intellectual life, and you have to compound your financial life. Start looking at your finances right now from a financial standpoint, and look and say, man, what extra money do I have? What can I cut back on that I can use this extra money where I can learn how to trade Forex. I can learn how to invest in crypto. I can learn how to open up a Fidelity account and start putting money towards a Roth IRA. I can start buying those stocks. I can start doing those things. These are the small steps that are going to make you very big in the near future, right? And my last one, is just allow yourself the next 12 to 24 months to change. Don't put the pressure on yourself. And we are our own worst critics. I always tell my students that, right? If it hasn't worked in a month, it hasn't worked in 3 months. Like when you plant a seed, you don't see it bloom out the ground that fast. So remember, you're planting seeds inside of yourself to make yourself better. So don't keep digging up your seed to see the fruit. Don't keep digging up your seed to see a beautiful flower. Give yourself time. Allow yourself 12 months, 24 months. Cordero and I have systems where you can make multiple six figures in 12 months. I have a plan where you can turn $500 into $600,000 legally, in 12 months. But are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to do the plan, right? It's just do those things, man. Practice those spiritual laws. Understand that everything in life is the law of compounding, and man, you'll be well on your way.
Hey, that's how you become well off. So shout out to everybody who's tuning in, and we've been getting a lot of love. So before we end it, I'm gonna say, hey, appreciate all the love.
Yeah.
3 things I'll add is don't be afraid of the systems, the strategies, and the softwares. A lot of people get intimidated by, a system. It's okay to have that system. Everything Jason just dropped, I hope you obtain that. Take notes. Take the quotes, because it's a bunch of them for it. And then stop dissing your courage. You don't give yourself that courage, that's how you get discouraged. You dissing your own courage, man. You are a valuable piece to the puzzle. You are gold. And in order to get another brick of gold, you got to get around somebody who obtained that. So y'all stay connected. That's another thing, too, because when you hear all this information, a lot of time people disconnect.
Yeah.
And then I start noticing even the people that was around y'all years ago, I'm looking at them now and they stuck. I'm like, man, and then I seen the people that did stay connected, and I see a Mahogany, shout out to her again, and I see where she is because she took the information and ran with it. and created her own stuff. And that's what I tell people, man. It's nothing to hide if you apply it and use it.
Yep.
It's almost, I always say it's like a spiritual tool bag. If you don't ever open it up, you don't know what's in there.
Come on.
And it's tools that we have, but it's people to show you, hey, use this one, use that one. And then before you know it, year 2, year 3, look where y'all end up at.
Come on.
So, man, y'all, welcome to the ride of Wealthy Hours.
Let's go.
We got some more great stuff to come. Y'all stay tuned. Peace and increase.
Peace and increase.